What up, YouTube? I know it's been like a week and a half since my last video, and I'm back basically. I'm back, and just want to talk about some changes to come. Um, it's it's no secret in the YTBC all the stuff that's been going on with racism. You know, as of recent, it's always something that's kind of revisited and revisited and revisited. Well, this is the last time I'm revisiting it. On my channel, this will be a boxing channel. Um, and now looking back, I kind of feel like I've fed into it, just by making videos. And I mean, I don't regret any of the stuff that I said in regards to racism because everything that I said is true. But I think that where I kind of came to fault is giving it any attention. So I'm gonna leave my videos about racism up, because I mean, why not? I mean, I don't. Everything that I put in those videos, it's how I feel. It's 100% from the heart. And if anybody wants to know where I stand on the issue, I could just simply refer them to my previous racism videos. I might even create a folder about it, or not a folder, but a playlist. But this is the last time I'm talking about this. It is. This is the last time. I'm sick of it. I mean, Andrew Senior, aka the boxing librarian, he almost left the YTBC, and I'm glad to see that he's still making videos. That he stayed. I'm very glad to see that. Wasn't so fortunate with Jeff Cotto. I consider Jeff Cotto to be a mentor and a friend. And it really troubles me that, due to the racism and the racism talk in the YTBC, that he felt the need to just end his channel. It's a shame. I don't blame him, but it's a shame. I feel that the YTBC really lost a big contribution that day. So that being said, from this day forth, any channel that I watch that they're having any more than 10% of their videos that they're putting out is about racism, I'm gonna start unsubbing. And if I see race baiting, I'm gonna unsub. Now, anybody I'm sub to right now, I'm gonna stay subbed. I made a decision. I'm gonna stay sub to you. But I just hope you got it out of your system, because any more of this race baiting and in this attitude where if you don't know what I'm talking about, fuck you. No, I'm not down with that. I'm not fucking with your channel. Like, that attitude is really a shitty ass attitude. And that's, I'm leaving it at that. I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Racism is always going to be around. It just is. As long as there's ignorant people, there's going to be racism. Because the races are going nowhere. Whether you're black, white, Hispanic, doesn't matter, Middle Eastern, European, it doesn't matter. Asian, it doesn't matter. We're not going nowhere. And as long as there's ignorance, which there always will be, because let's just face it, some people's IQ are just not up there. Some people's upbringing just isn't right. It's always going to be around. Just accept it. But, and I'm not saying accept, the trash that people throw at you, but accept the fact that it's going to be around. Your children are going to see it. Your grandchildren are going to see it. Your great grandchildren are going to see it. All we can do is make it better for tomorrow. And by doing all this race baiting and all this stuff, it doesn't help. It doesn't help the situation whatsoever. So just deal with it the right way. So from this day forth, no more racism on my channel. No more racist talk on my channel. No more, it's going to be boxing and boxing only. Andrew Sr. had the right idea when he said we need to start blocking these channels that they're partaking in this race war. So, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And if that means that I can't be part of the YTBC anymore, that's fine. I don't want to be part of a YTBC that is infatuated with race. I'll start the NYTBC, the new YTBC, where it is strictly boxing. And that's the way I feel about it. So, that's the new rule right there. No more racism. No more racist talk. And it's not me trying to downplay it or nothing like that. I know that it exists, but I'm going to take a stand to make sure that everybody gets a fair shake. Everybody. And if your ass is going to be propagating on racism, then your ass is blocked. Your ass will get no views from me, and you can't comment on my channel. That's the way I feel about it. Excuse me. I've been battling a cold. That's why I haven't made no videos really. I've been wanting to make videos, but I just didn't want to lose my voice and strain it. But this is, I'm feeling a little bit better. This is stuff that I feel needs to be said. I'm just going to give a little bit of background on like how I feel. Because right now, and I'm going to kind of break a promise that I made a while back. Fuck Mayweather. Fuck Floyd Mayweather Jr. And let me tell you why. This is the way that I feel. Floyd Mayweather Jr. refused to fight young prime black fighters. He fought a couple, don't get me wrong, but a majority of his resume was not. After he retires, he wants to come out and talk about how Keith Thurman and Sean Porter and just black fighters in general they get downplayed and they don't get the respect that they deserve. You're right, Floyd. Because you didn't respect them. You didn't give them their title shots. You didn't fight your man. If that's truly how you felt, then why didn't you fight Keith Thurman, who was your mandatory? Why didn't you fight Sean Porter, who obviously wanted the fight? But now that you're retired, all of a sudden, you want to play the victim when you're the highest paid athlete in the world. And you're African American, but you want to say that boxing is racist and that y'all don't get the same opportunities. Well, in that case, I'll become a pro boxer and not get the opportunities and get paid $300 million on one night too. I'll gladly take that oppression off your hands. See, this is why I don't like Floyd Mayweather. It never had to do anything with his race. He wants to play the victim when he wants to act like he fought in the era of Muhammad Ali or Joe Louis or Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson had to travel all the way to Australia just to get his heavyweight title shot. Joe Louis had to sign a contract giving 10% of his earnings for the next 10 years to get his Broderick, going off the top of my head, I remember, I think his name was Broderick, you know, the Cinderella man. He had to give him 10% of his earnings for the next 10 years in order to get his title shot against him. Floyd Mayweather would have never done any of that shit. He wouldn't fight out of Las Vegas, much less go to Australia. He wouldn't take a lesser cut on any fight, much less give 10% of his earnings to the opponent for any amount of time. That's the hypocrisy. And for him to go and say the shit that he said, I think is sickening. Props to Dan the Man. He did a video where he stood against it. And I know it's hard because you have all these people who want to, you know, act like if you go against what Floyd says, then you're a coon or something. It doesn't make you a coon. He's being fair. So yeah, that was my rant about Floyd Mayweather. That was my rant about the racism. And now this is the update. This shit is not going to go down on my channel. This shit will not be talked about on my channel. This shit will not be tolerated on my channel. It sickens me. This is what the community has come to. And like I said, if I have to, we will start the NTYBC. I'll be the first NTYBC channel. And everybody who wants to talk boxing can come with me. I mean, I see good channels saying that they're done. Rascalot 22, man. Please, don't leave boxing. We need channels like yours. You know, and I just want to give props to channels such as, you know, Shady Slim. He's kept it all boxing. He has kept his ass out. He has kept his ass clean of this shit. And I mean, even Travis Gotti, who I don't really even care for, he's been talking boxing. You know, everybody who's been keeping it boxing, I've been watching. I haven't been making no videos because I've been sick, but I definitely been listening. And I just want to give props to y'all. Every last one of y'all. And I can't wait for RFN Network to come back, or RFN Boxing Network to come back. He's coming back, and, you know, I always enjoyed his content, and I'm glad to hear that he's coming back. And, Diplomat, he's been keeping it 100% boxing, giving nothing but the facts. You know, I want to get, and if I haven't given props to you, I apologize. I'm doing this right off the top of my head. But people like Fight Critic, he's been putting out mostly boxing. And I'm not saying, you know, I understand things happen, and sometimes things need to be addressed. But I think that this isn't an issue that is being taken care of. I think it's like the boxing librarian said, it's become a virus. It's not getting better, it's getting worse. So I'm not going to contribute to the whole race war. I'm not going to be contributing to this virus. This is the last that I'm speaking of this. It really is. If anybody wants to know where I stand on it, there's this video and about 3 others, and I'm done with this shit. I really am. And by the way, big props to Shady Slim and the Boxing Librarian. I think doing the debate, that was exactly what the community needed. They had their debate, and it felt like the YTVC was really at its best that it's been in a good little while, because there was actually boxing being talked about. So I'm laying this shit to rest. I really am. I'm laying it to rest. And now we're gonna start talking boxing. It's like I said, people who they want to feed into this shit, and people who want to say shit like, you know, you're saying that you're from a certain ethnicity, and if other people don't understand, then the fuck off. No, fuck you. Okay? I think everybody needs a fair shake. Everybody, you're willing to put your opinion out there on YouTube. Everybody deserves to get that perspective if they choose to, without you being a dick about it. So anyways, that's all I gotta say. I'm done with this shit. Peace.